And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to the Heroes Premier League Week 4 NA Day 1. Yeah. Oh, wow. That was actually, you can't see me, but we both fist pumped at the same time. Good job. Good job, D-Day. Good job. All right, so, Team Blame Game and 2-Arc. I was like, did I change that overlay? I totally did, because I'm awesome. Team Blame Game and 2-Arc are going to be our next game series at best of 3, and it is rank 6 up against rank 10. Had to take a quick look there. 1-1-1 there from the Blame Game. Not a win yet for 2-Arc. What can you tell us a little bit about these teams?
We scrim against both of these teams, and I can tell you that they both definitely have their different play styles. 2-Arc has extremely good coordination. Blame Game has really odd strategies that just come out of left field. I definitely like both teams equally, but I can't tell you who's I can't take a guess who's going to win this.
Not a guess at all, eh?
Oh, I'm kind of leaning 2-Arc just because of their play style, but we'll see what happens with it. Depends on how picks the bands go.
Well, of course, we do have our live drafting tool ready to go. I do remember 2-Arc had 2 teams, I believe, at one point, and now they've kind of merged it down into one. That's how you guys got into the league, isn't it? You took the other place?
That is exactly how we got in there. The other 2-Arc team, they merged into one team, and then I guess the Team Descent at one point tried to get in, and then they couldn't do it, so we actually got in there and actually became Team Nexus champ right when that happened.
Yeah, it was a very fortuitous pickup because we've now actually seen you guys play, but we're not seeing you play tonight. That is exactly why you are here with me, looking dapper as always. I like that World of Warcraft poster in the background.
Oh, thanks, man. It's Deathwing.
Is it?
I really wish he was in the game.
But like, how would they work with the scale of that? I mean, he'd have to be the size of a fort.
Well, Stitches. I mean, Stitches
and
Diablo
is an abomination.
Huge.
Not a full-length dragon that can waste a town or a keep or Lordaeron, you know? I just don't see it happening. Like, he's too powerful of an entity. It'd be like, as people have said, Onyxia. It's like, yeah, even then, like, when we killed Onyxia back at level 60, we're the size of her talon. I mean, even Stitches would only come up to her thigh.
Well, I'm sure they'll find some way to do it. I mean, this is Blizzard. It's their game. They can do whatever they want. And I know they're trying to keep it with lore, but it'd be really cool to see him in the game.
Indeed. All right, so I think we are actually ready to go this time. So for the drafts, Team Blame Game and 2-Arc, I'm going to jump into the drafts as we are ready to go. The team captains are on standby. So, yes, that is totally the right place to be. Again, big thanks to GG Hero for this live drafting tool. We're going to be seeing more of it as we do transition more into live games down the road, like the one tonight. So, again,
looking forward to it.
Yeah, they're doing some amazing things here in the Hero Sphere. And good to go. All right. Team captains are going to get this ban process rolling. This is on Shire. So what can you tell us a little bit about a priority here for Shire?
Well, Shire is one of those tricky ones. You don't want to let the other team get the first Dragonite, of course. The push potential for that thing is just insane. Mercs are high priority on this map. You want to make sure you get as many Merc camps as you can.
Especially that bottom lane. The triple Ogre push is very terrifying.
If you can get it, the hardest part is just timing it so that they're all pushing at the same time. They all meet up right in front of that gate.
Yeah, that's a little tricky. I've seen it done. I've had it done to me. It's not a good viewing at all.
Doesn't feel good either.
It's just like, guys, I got 6 ogres in my bottom lane. They're like, yeah, you can handle it. So we're just going to push top and do nothing and lose. Yeah, great, awesome. Yay, solo queue. That's why I try to queue with you, sir.
Well, thanks, man. Solo queue is rough. And we see Stitches banned from Team Blame Game, which I can't blame them, honestly.
Yeah, it's a little rough for him as well. But you know, they have some really good hook spots, and the pressure of trying to keep your positioning. You don't want to get caught with the hook. The hook gorge is almost guaranteed a death because you're going to run right into the rest of the team. Not doing with that here, I think is a good move.
Well, especially on this map, it's so close quarters. I mean, that hook can just completely change a team fight in 2 seconds.
Indeed it can. Yeah. He's not quite as tanky as the Arthas. Like Arthas has a lot more tools in terms of health regen, but in terms of an overall, like he's a big guy. He has, I think, tied for the highest health scaling in the game. So
Yeah, he has the best potential.
plus the Devour every 20 seconds or so. So
Yeah.
that's fun. Tassadar going to be out the ban, and of course a Tychus pick. 3 for 3 there on the Tychus.
Well, Tychus on this map is extremely powerful. You have the small corridors, not a very, very big map, so it's easy for him to go from lane to lane. I mean, it's a pretty typical pick on Dragonshire, at least.
We are a little actually ahead of schedule. That might come back to bite us later, but we'll see. But you can't really compare Tychus really to any of the other assassins. He's just number one.
Mm-hmm, for sure. And then that Nubrak pickup by 2-Arc. Anub is just so, so strong. Especially, like, on this map, he can burrow under almost 2 walls and just wreak havoc.
Bane Stitch's skin hype. I would do it. I'd totally do it. Yeah, with the introduction of Anubarak, he's really kind of shot up in the tier list. I mean, we've now seen him in banned 1 game and played out in the other 2. He's a 3 for 3 as well. Just like that Tychus. Now, Azmodan, maybe not so much, but if you ever are playing the solo queue, Azmodan, Abathur combo, oh my god, just win right. Like, where's my surrender button? Because it's game's over, right?
Yeah, that promote is ridiculous with the 2 of them. And then you see Uther pick up by a 2-Arc. Typical, just Uther, Tychus, Tassadar, typical picks.
Apparently we're behind schedule. All right. Thank you, Brad. You can yell at me more. It's cool. Tyrael going to be picked up here as well. But as you said, Uther, God tier. I mean, if it's not a Tassadar, it's not a Rhaegar, it's an Uther. If it's not them, it's a Malfurion and Brightwing. If it's not them, it's Tyrande, and absolutely never Lily.
Well, can't say that because she was picked last week.
Defined last week? Week
Clairvoyant.
3, you mean?
Yeah, Clairvoyant picked them up.
Yep, that is true, and they didn't win. Or did they win?
Actually, they did win.
But I do hear that we have some Lily changes coming down the line, so maybe she'll shoot up in the tier list again. On a general scale, it's like you rarely see Odin, you rarely see Sergeant Hammer, you rarely see Lily. Like they're just not up there in the usefulness. And speaking of the usefulness, Tyrael, Arthas, that is a terrifying front line.
It really is. Tyrael with the initiate, Arthas with the follow-up snare. I mean, if someone gets caught, they're pretty much done at that point. Not much you can do, unless Uther comes in to save the day.
Uther could save the day. He has that kind of power under his belt. He is... I totally forgot draft music. Yeah, me.
Oh, man.
Yeah, life of a producer. He definitely could save the day. I mean, he brings a lot of steadiness and sustain to his team, especially with a Chen. Again, like we saw the power of the share the brew, right?
Definitely.
Sharing the brew is just so powerful. We just went over that. Now they got Uther and the shields generated by Anubarak. Oh.
I will say this, Anubarak Chen is absolutely terrifying. There's almost no way to get away from the 2 of them. With the Impale and Chen's root with his kick and then his cake smash, it's almost impossible to get away.
Well, at least you have a little bit of time before the root actually does take effect. That's level 7, I want to say.
It's level 7, but his cake smash is extremely powerful. I mean, at the higher levels, it's got a 4-second uptime, 1-second downtime, and you can just pretty much keep everyone locked down.
Yeah, the fun thing about the brew is that really low cooldowns does go into conjunction, especially if you do get like the double the brew rate. You can really spam out a lot of stuff. That's why he's so great at jungling, because like the low cooldowns and the brew plus the shields, you can just solo it all. Might take him forever, but he can do it. So some really good points there from Chen. He's turned out to be a really good addition to this game. Falstead is, of course, going to be joining the crew there from 2-Arc as their assassin. And again, this is on Dragonshire, guys. Flight is very useful on Dragonshire. You can almost go from shrine to shrine.
And honestly, I could see a Nova pickup by Team Blame Game here. They have Tyrael, which is a good person to basically not be playing against. So they don't have to worry about that. And there's no Tassadar, so they don't have to worry about stealth being picked up. And we see Vala pick up, which is extremely, extremely good with their combination right now. I mean, we could see Rhaegar actually picked up as their last pick.
You can see it or you do see it? Because I don't see it.
I can see it.
Okay. Just making sure. With the Vala and the Strafe, like who does she has to really be afraid of here. Like Uther has to kind of slog through everything to get to the strafe. I guess you could have a Nubarak, but even then you could just dodge out of it, assuming there's enough space between you for the reaction time. So yeah, that could actually turn out extremely well.
Well, we see a Brightwing pickup instead. I'm sure that they did that because they didn't want them to have Falset Brightwing.
The double bribe?
Double bribe, especially on this map, Merc control is key.
Yeah, double bribe and the mobility. I mean, like you got, as I said, you already got flight already out there, and phase shift could definitely add a lot of roaming pressure to it. So, I mean, does this mean we're going to have a Rhaegar then picked up for 2-arc, or are they going to go for something a bit more damagey? Because all they have really right now is Falstad.
They're definitely probably going to pick up more damage. They're a little light on damage right now. They're good on CC. Uther can pretty much solo heal a team by himself, so it's not like they have to really worry about it, especially with Chen and Anubarak as their front line. No one's really going to be able to get by that.
Nova. Interesting.
That's an interesting pick. I mean, they don't really have to worry too much because they have Tassar's not in the game. The only thing they have to worry about is Tyrael, and Tyrael does not want to dive into a Chen Anubarak Uther.
I'm also just thinking, I mean, we saw the scouting probe earlier in games, and then we of course had the Tassar with his Oracle. Oracle's banned. I don't think anybody on Team Blame Game actually has a scouting Oracle.
I don't think so either.
So that's what, multi-shot, the damage coming out from Brightwing, the frozen from Arthas. Well, I mean, they do have enough ways to kind of detect it, but at the same time, they don't have like an early warning system.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, that is something to behold, ladies and gentlemen. So that means it's time to load the game, sir. While we're loading that game, though, I'm going to be showing you guys this giveaway screen because we do have the Ultimate Dead Week giveaway. Once again, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. Go hit those likes. 4 people going home with Blizzard capsule figures tonight. That's some pretty good hype right there. I'm going to load here into 7 seconds, sir.
Okay. Well, I do want to say this. Like, if you guys want to help support the esports scene, especially with Nexus Champ and the HPL, hit the subscribe button. Really help us out a lot. Be able to give out more prizes and everything. We'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, for sure. I know that Pride definitely appreciates every scrap of support that we can throw him. And, I mean, at the same time, yeah, I mean, why not? He's a good guy, and we're doing good content, or so we hope. If you are enjoying it, hit those buttons, because we got our game ready to go here.
I'm good to go.
Okay, then let us get this rolling, sir. 3, 2, 1, play. All right. Making sure I got my music, making sure I got the overlay. We are good to go. 2-arc and Team Blame Game here. Week 4, day 1, NA game 1. Whew, that's a mouthful. But let's take a quick look here at these lanes. Quibsy looks like he's going to solo the top, and Acadia? I'll call him Uther in the mid. We have a little bit of a 3-man for the bottom. And again, this map has so much pressure in this bottom lane because of 1, 2, and 3 Merc camps. So it's not really that unexpected.
And you can already see them setting up for a gank mid with Nubarak and Uther there. And well, they're rotating bottom now.
Which way are they going to go? Oh, there's Fetus and Tube. Yay, shout out to Fetus and Tube. Because he thought that his name was going to be hard for me to say. I will say it with a straight face every time. Every time, Fetus. But yeah, the tank's up top. And, Tyrael, in terms of a solo laner, is like virtually godlike at this point. I mean, I don't think he's going to have any trouble with Quibsy whatsoever.
Well, I don't know. Quibsy puts on a good Chen. Like, I played against him a few times, and it's terrifying how good he is at Chen.
Yeah. Do you see this dance in the bottom lane? Like, nobody here from Blame Game is kind of off their mounts. They're just kind of running around in circles. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, they don't want to make the first move. Scared of that Nova.
And well, we did see that snipe from Kiefer's. He did show off his position. I don't actually think he hit Fetus in the tube for it, but even if he did, without any follow-up, the Brightwing would just queue it up all anyways. And you can see the shove going in. Like, mid got shoved so hard, they're going to come right down here. Fetus in tube actually is the one going to be in a little bit of trouble. He's going to lock up the body block here from Uther. It's pretty strong, but that is an Arthas. Self-healing, the healing coming out from the Brightwing is going to be enough, but bottom shrine is going to go their way. The flip side is, of course, as I said, Tyrael, godlike lane. He does capture that top solo.
For sure. I mean, the thing is that with Chen, you got to wait till your later talent points to really be able to put on pressure on anyone.
Yep.
His chug does help out a lot, but not early on. Once you get that talent point to double your brew gain, it helps out way more.
Yeah, definitely, because you can kind of start doing more acrobatics, so to speak. Shrine is going to go the way here of Blame Games. So they're going to put that into their pocket. Vala actually could be in a good position, but nope, it's going to be Uther stopping it just in the nick of time. And Shrine control going back 1-1. Actually, it might go straight here over to 2-Arc. They do have the top. Quibsy making the plays. Kedia, however, does have to deal with Echo.
Definitely. And you see Arthas here pushing a Furious Seed back, trying to recapture that Shrine to make sure they can't get the Dragon Knight early.
Yeah, and they will capture that out. So a lot of going back and forth. Mr. J Pickles not in a good spot. It looks like he's almost body blocked. Who's going to drop first? It will be Fetus. That Burrow strike coming out really strong there from Mr. J Pickles. Gets him out of dodge. And a kill now on the board. Still, every lane going back to basically back and forth. That's going to be then the key. We do got one bribe out, and Mr. J Pickles, Furious D are going to take the first mercs of the game.
Definitely, and then they're probably going to rotate down and grab that bottom Giants camp, which will help out a ton as well. Keep them from being able to defend that Shrine, and they have to kill those Giants before doing anything else.
Uther's still not exactly having the luck in terms of finding himself that Dragon Knight, and some really nice dancing going on at these shrines. The top lanes are going back and forth. It is actually Tyrael now a little bit more on the back foot. You see the power of Quibsy coming out. He just sits there with that shield, man, and he is knocking around that Tyrael.
It's that chug trait. It's too good in lane to be able to push Chen out unless you have a knockback or a stun, like you said earlier.
Yeah, and right now it's still going to remain that one-on-one. These Giants are actually forcing some nice pressure here into the bottom lane. That should be the Shrine going back the way of 2-Arc. Roxy is going to come down and try to contest it. Actually, they do successfully contest it, and Tychus is able to clean up the Giants. So a little bit back to our old song and dance.
Well, like I said earlier, that little bit of pressure made it so they could try to get the Shrine. Didn't work out because they saw what they were doing, but we could see it happening again here shortly with that bribe on Furious D.
Yeah, definitely could. I mean, did Brightwing actually take bribe?
Yes, she did.
It's very expected on this map. The bottom lane pressure is just too much, man. It's so important. So yeah, we are still going to sit here 1-1 with the Shrines. Tyrael and Quibsy. Yeah, Quibsy, I do panda you, and you do nothing because you're just a drunk panda. But Furious D is going to come up, and we're going to see what that's going to do. Nova, however, does drop bottom lane. Can't even go and give Quibsy a compliment. There's too much action going on.
It's the size of the map, and we actually might see them go for Knights right here.
I saw Furious D going up here. Maybe they weren't going to come up to try to kill Tyrael. They were swapping lanes. So the Falstead's going to do the soak, and Quibsy's going to go solo the Knights. That's actually really smart.
And we see them grabbing bottom right Giants here too.
Yeah, as I said, the bottom Giants is just too important. Right now, we do actually have the Shrines going both of the way here of Blame Game, but there's an Uther in the middle. Uther, Furious D, and Quibsy. They actually gave up the Knights. Quibsy was called away. It's too important to try to not give up this Dragon Knight. And you can see Mr. J Pickles. He's down here. He's going to be trying to push for this. Fetus in the tube takes a little bit of damage. Is that going to be enough to kill? Because I don't think the follow-up's quite there. But they do get the Shrine.
Shrine just keeps it so that they can't get the Dragon Knight. It's the best thing to do.
Now, we also have, 4 of the Giants pushing here for Blame Game. 2 of them are now down. The other 2 are still there. The fights are still going on in this bottom lane. It's some really big footsies.
There's a really nice back and forth between the bottom lane here. I'm seeing a lot going on either side. Anubrak trying to interrupt a little bit. Nova trying to get in there, get at least a little bit of damage in, but she's a little too scared because of that Arthas.
And for rightfully so, because Blame Game just hit 10. They actually have these ults. If they want to make a power play, they have this small window to do it right here. You can see Tyrael has actually gone out of top lane. They're going to go all 5 bottom. They're actually going to find Mr. J Pickles. That's going to be the Reign of Vengeance. The Judgment comes out on top of him as well. Heal comes out from the Uther, and the Burrow Strike is going to be enough. I don't think Fetus can finish that off. He got off. They had Venom. We'll have to see if that will be the kill. Excedia there is going to be A-okay as well, but Anubarak does drop. Vala is going to drop. Fetus in the tube might drop here to Furious D, but he does come out with that army. Quibsy is trying to duel out here up against Tyrael. Should have that Stormers and Fire. Yeah, he does. That's going to be the Odin then as well from the Turtle Tosser. So everyone's bringing out their ults to play. That Uther is so low, but he's going to live for now. Here comes the Tyrael back into the play. Quizby's still going hard with these pandas, but I mean, why not? It's a free health bar. And in the long run of things, I think only 2 deaths.
Yeah, it looks that way. I mean, we have Uther got away. I don't know how that happened.
What, like, I want to say 1 hit point, but obviously, I mean, probably a few more than that. Still, really well played from both sides. They pushed themselves all to the limit. And the only people that died was the Vala and the Nubarak. Well, maybe they are. Maybe they are this. Yeah. Sorry, go on.
Oh, no problem. We see Nova down here grabbing the shrine and making sure they can't grab that Dragon Knight. They're going for Knights here, which is a good, smart move right now. They want to put a little bit of pressure on top lane so they can get the other shrine and actually try to go for that Dragon Knight. We have 4 people down here bottom, though, making a big push.
Yeah, these teams are actually really even in terms of the positioning because we're about to hit 12 on each side, and nobody's had a Dragon Knight. We're 7, almost 8 minutes into this match. No Dragon Knight as of yet. The experience is basically dead even. We're going to have to see if that can turn with these Knights push. Like, right now, we don't really have the reactions from Team Blame Game. They're not going up there quite yet.
Well, and they really should. This push top could do a lot of damage and force them into a bad engagement, especially with the Nubarak sitting in that bush.
Yeah, and here they come. I mean, they're not going to go through that bush. They're very smart because Mr. J Pickles was there. They did take the longer way around. But Tyrael, he's going to be down in there. He's actually going to Judgment to a creep to get out. The Precision Strike's not going to hit, but Quizby's going to go in deep. He's looking for this kill. That was already the jump from him. His Pandas are going to actually get really low. The Odin is now out. Feed us in a tube. Not enough sustain on that one. Quizby's just going to get drunk in the middle of all this, and that is going to work out great because Turtle Tosser's out of that Odin. The Divine Storm for the kill on top of Tychus. And Tyrael, Roxy, they're in the back. They cannot contest this 5-man push. That is going to be a fort in favor of 2Arc.
I really like what 2Arc did there with the Orbital Strike, separating the entire team, making sure that they couldn't really group up and do a power play against the other team.
Now, Furious D, he's going to fly all the way down here. This should be a guaranteed Dragon Knight. I really don't think Tyrael and Brightwing could actually afford to do that. Is Furious D going to come down for the bribe? He's not. So it's just going to be Kiefer's picking up the Knight, and now the push mid. This could be a second fort because, like, Tyrael's not looking so healthy. A lot of ults are now down from each side, and this is a 9-minute-ish Dragon Knight.
Yeah, and honestly, what I could see them doing is pushing down that first gate and the towers, and then pushing down bottom and trying to take the towers down on that one as well. But it looks like they're actually just going to go straight for that fort.
Jeez, I don't think I gave Blame Game enough credit right there. They absolutely destroyed Keepers in that Dragon Knight. Yeah, they got the wall though, so I mean, it wasn't all bad.
Yeah, one of the best things to do is just at least take Dragon Knight, so you don't have to worry about the threat of the other team getting it.
Yeah, it's almost like, you know, why would you fly behind enemy lines? Bribe out the Giants just to have them killed? Well, so that they don't have them. You're not going to gain a lot out of it. I mean, yeah, they did get out this gate. And they did force out more ults and team fights, but that could actually very nicely down here because Acadia is not looking so good. That's going to be the Burrow Strike. The Precision Strike goes out as well. The Lightning is enough to take down Vala. And I don't think Brightwing is actually going to be there because it looks like he's disconnected. So that is unfortunate. Turtle Tosser is going to get out of this. Roxy with the Emerald Wind. At least the bot didn't pick that one up, but still a 4-man wipe from 2Arc. A very, very unfortunate timing on that disconnect.
And that's what I was talking about with the Nubarak Initiate. He was on the other side by the shrine, and he burrowed underneath to go into that engage. Uther followed up with a stun, which is perfect for that Orbital Strike.
No, for sure. It was a lot of ults actually condensed right into that one spot, and they picked up, I think, a double kill from that barrage. They go straight mid, they get out this fort now. They do have the 2-fort advantage. 3 levels over top of Blame Game, and Roxy is now actually going to be back in the game. I actually expected them to go straight up here to the Knights, but I guess they didn't have the confidence. I mean, Falstead was a little low on hit points as well.
Well, being this far behind right now is scary. Level 16 is a powerhouse talent, so you gotta be really careful on how you fight against them.
Speaking of 16, the team's gonna do their thing. There's your level 16 talent preview, guys. But I mean, looking at this, like looking at the Chen, Deadly Strike, Pressure Point, combination attack. It's a full out, I'm gonna kick you in the face Chen build. And again, with the Chug, gains the brew twice as fast. And then, of course, the Touch of Honey increases that slow from the Cake Smash. He is a CC monster.
Definitely. And that's what I was talking about. That 40% slow is ridiculous. I mean, there's not much to do on the other team. It's so frustrating trying to get away from a Chen that has that 40% buff.
And you can see it right here. He jumps right on top of the Tyrael after the initiation from Mr. J Pickles, and Tyrael melts. He's one of the tankiest heroes in this game, guys, and Quizby has no qualms whatsoever. He jumps in, precision and the shotgun on. Maybe not going to take home a kill, but Brightwing is going to drop as a result. 2 more kills into the book of death from 2ARK, and they're just going to continue pushing on. They got all 3 of those forts. They're going to be pushing on. They got these ogres. This gate is just decimated. And Vala is deciding to go get a shrine.
Yeah, I mean, they're in a really, really bad position right here. They have all 3 forts, all 3 forward forts down. They're trying to find a way to come back from this game, and I don't know if they can do it with the way they're positioned.
Well, right now, Quizby's going to take advantage. Look at that body block on top of Fetus. He jumped right into that small little area, blocked out the Arthas, and again, one of the tankiest heroes in the game goes down immediately. Chen is just being played out really well. Looks like that's actually not Roxy again, but the Brightwing. He saw the Emerald Wing go out. Tychus is here with that Odin. The Rain of Vengeance actually was really well positioned on top of J Pickles, but it's still not even enough. That precision strike was so good on the Tyrael, and unfortunately, no kills again, going the way of Team No Breaks. Echo's about to drop because Quizby's a triple panda, and this is just death incarnate for game.
And this is what I'm talking about with the Chen play. Chen is so good at locking someone down and body blocking like a monster. He's just wicked with it. Playing against him is just not fun typically, especially once he pops. There's no way to kill him. Once he hits level 10, you have to kill him pretty much 3 times. And you see Dragonite being taken here by Keepers as well.
Yeah, they also was able to pick up the Giants just before Dragonite went down. So again, they're going to be able to put pressure on 2 lanes. And it's a really bad situation here for Blame Game because they're 3 levels behind. They're a whole tier under. And in 2 more levels, if this game goes on, it's going to be level 20. That's almost a sealed deal here from 2ARK. So, I mean, Fetus and the Tube and crew, they got to do something here. But with this Brightwing bot, I mean, the communication is just not there. The Emerald Wind, for example, just going off right there, doesn't achieve them anything, and I think this is just going to be the noose tightening around the neck here of Blame Game.
Oh, for sure, and they just hit level 16, so they just got those talents, but I think it might be too little too late for them.
It actually might be. Quizby is just, again, being a bot there in the back. He's actually, might even drop. He doesn't have the cooldown for Storm, Earth, and Fire. That is actually a little bit of a misplay right there. That could lead into a really nice team fight here from Fetus and Tube and crew because he's leading the charge. He is going to get off that last Death Coil, and it does take out the Dragon Knight. So a little bit of breathing room for them here, but it's still a 3-level deficit that they're facing.
Oh, for sure. And they're going to try to take these Knights and Giants real quick. That should actually give them really close to 20.
Oh, the fly bribe here from Furious D, again, putting the pressure into the bottom lane. Those Giants haven't exactly cracked this core yet, but it's basically a naked core on 2 lanes. And, you know, we're going to have catapults pushing both lanes. We have basically total map control here from 2ARK. It's not looking good whatsoever here from Blame Game.
Not at all. I mean, the one thing that you got to focus on, especially in this map, is taking slight advantages while you can. I mean, Chen went down, so they backed off. Wink got the Mercs so that Blame Game didn't have a chance to grab them. Make sure that they took the lead. They're gonna keep it by putting constant pressure on all lanes.
I like how the spectator interface kind of shows us where they're all going. Like you can see these little lines. That's cool. Kudos, Blizzard. Kudos. Now, if we could only get an ultimate sidebar, that would be.
or nameplates in game.
Or nameplates in game. Yeah. Yeah. I don't remember which game it was, but they had like an icon. I think it was maybe Heroes of Newerth. They had like all the ability icons with cooldown toggles just above their names. It was actually really cool. It might be a thought here, but they're gonna come in. 2ARK is going to be protecting these Giants because if they go for a team fight and those Giants start wrecking that core, that's double plus good for them. Quizby goes in. That root is not going to be enough here for that precision strike. We saw the shock and awe go off as well. Emerald Dream in the back is going to keep Echo alive for now. Quizby doing his work as he can. Fetus in the tube not looking so healthy. Turtle Tosser in the Odin. It goes down. That's not a good sign whatsoever. And no kills this time. But still, the pressure is there. The core is now taking damage. And we're not done yet. The Divine Hurricane comes in. Tyrael drops. Roxy's about to drop. And, oh, Fetus in the tube. So very close.
Yeah, this does not look good for them. I mean, they're at the core. About to take it down. Could take it down here in any second.
Oh, Quiz Beach actually dies. What a feeder. 17 to 4 kills, though, and the core is going to drop. 2Arc does take game number 1 in this best of 3, and there's the talents for you guys, ladies and gentlemen.
You see the talents here. They actually both picked up Resurgence at the end there. That would have been brutal.
Yeah, now it's a 7-man crew that you got to kind of fight through in order to get any kind of advantage out of that.
More than that, Chen has Resurgence. He's probably like 3 people in 1 with his ultimate.
Yeah, no, it's something to behold. That is for sure. All right, so game number 1 is down and in the bag. That's totally not you. That's totally you. And there you go, Mr. Michael Knott, Mr. DJ.
What?
No, nothing. It's cool. It's cool. Bro.
What'd you do?
Oh, good. Nothing. You might have looked like Nova for a moment. It might have been
geez.
might have been better. I don't know. We'll let the chat decide. So yeah, game number 1, pretty good stuff. We're gonna jump into game number 2 after this short commercial break, guys, and then depending on timelines, we're going to set up for our live match. Team Liquid up against Cloud9. I feel the hype. I feel the love tonight with these games, man.
It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, no, for sure. All right, giveaway, update. Once again, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. Hit those buttons, hit the subscribe, the likes, all that fun stuff. And we're going to give 4 lucky winners tonight. Blizzard capsule figurines, those little itty-bitty guys. And yeah, free stuff for you. Not me, not D-Day, for you. All for you.
All free.
All free, yeah, exactly. So hit the buttons, get free stuff. When we come back, game number 2 here with Forecourt and D-Day here at HPL. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to HPL Week 4, Day 1 NA. Because we're here, Team Blame Game and 2-Arc, game number 2 coming your way. A very dominant game number 1, I will say. It was just kind of Quibsy, yeah. I'll say your name right. How's that?
It's Quizby, man.
Quizby?
Quizby.
Quiznos? Apparently Quiznos is taken. I actually looked up words that start with Q, and D-Day can actually attest to this, and none of them really fit. So I guess we'll just go back to your actual name, Quibsy.
Quibsy's good.
Quibsy's good, yeah. Not that original or flattering, but good, yeah. All right, so game number 2. I don't actually know what map it's going to be on.
It is on Cursed Hollow.
Is it? All right. So our second Cursed Hollow map of the game. We saw a very early game number 1 win of our previous matchup, Symbiote and... Who did Symbiote go up against? Blame Game, no breaks. That was it. And they won in like 8.5 minutes. Do you foresee something like that happening again?
Like I said before, it depends on the composition. 2-Arc is extremely good on Cursed Hollow. Having played against them, I know a little bit of their strategy. I could see it going away 2-Arc, but I can't tell for sure. Just by the way they play. Quibsy's just super, super strong on that Chen, so I don't know if they let him get Chen or not. It might be a repeat of the last game.
Okay. Yeah. I would not actually be surprised to see a ban from Chen, but at the same time, I mean, you've said it, I think, now multiple times. You know, Stitches is a very powerful ban. Oracles from the Taskmaster is a very powerful ban. Rhaegar in general is just a very powerful ban. Like, there's a lot of things you can do here, but I would not actually be surprised to see another Anubarak come through.
Anubarak and Chen are, like I said earlier, they're a super, super good pick.
Yep.
The two of them together, it wrecks games. Sometimes we'll go into random like 5-man versus queues, and those two together, like, it's hard for a team to come back after they get wiped out one time by them. Once you get that advantage with Anubarak and Chen, it's really difficult to come back.
Well, let's see if anybody can actually yield an advantage from picks and bans, because we do have the draft ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to jump into that. Let's find ourselves some drafting music. I actually had the drafting music on for the break. Oops. Oh, well.
Yeah. At least you had some music.
Yeah, some music's better than that. So 2-Arc and Team Blame Game. Going to tell the captains, ready to roll. And we're going to see what they're going to be bringing to this one. So as you said, it was Cursed Hollow?
Yes, sir.
Cursed Hollow. Yes, indeed. Awesome. Fun times. Too many alt-tabbing things to do. Tabby. All right, so yeah, again, we're just going to be waiting for the captains to do their thing. While we are waiting, however, guys, again, HPL, Heroes Premier League, we'll be doing some really premier Heroes of the Storm content. They're not going to go anywhere. They're continuously innovating. We have the draft vids. Now we have a live drafting tool. Stream production value. Pride is putting so much work into this. So if you like what you see, like what you hear, hit the button, hit the subscribe. I've seen a few subscribers tonight. Welcome to the fold. Sub hype. I'm sure I would totally shout you guys out, but we're casting. But do know that it comes from the bottom of our heart. All the love for all the support, because the more we put into this, the more we're going to get back out of it. And that looks like we have picks and bans.
Looks like a Tyrael ban first up. I mean, that's pretty typical. You got to worry about that Tyrael engage, especially on Cursed Hollow. You can pretty much go from anywhere around where the curse is at. Very, very good initiation tool to keep them off the tribute.
Yeah, you're going to know where more or less people are going to be, especially forced into those tribute areas. So with the Might of Eldrune and that Judgment. Have you ever seen a Tyrael not take Judgment?
Way back when Bloodlust was first becoming a thing.
Yeah.
People are trying to do the sanctification with Bloodlust so that no one would die. And you see Stitch's ban here too. That's kind of interesting, especially coming out of like seeing that Anubarak Chen play that they just played against. Kind of odd to me.
Well, that means that Chen is going to be on the board there with the Anubarak, but I mean, we've seen and we've talked about Stitch's bans a lot tonight. I mean, eventually it had to happen, right?
Well, yeah, but what I'm looking at, especially with the meta, the way it's forming right now, is Anubarak is especially new. No one knows how to play against him, so it's, especially in league games, it's kind of interesting to see that people are not banning him when they don't know how to counter him exactly.
it almost reminds me of like the League of Legends effect. You know, day one a new hero comes out, every ranked game has it banned.
Hmm.
Because you don't know. I mean, you don't have the time, you don't have the practice. We don't exactly have like a public test realm or something that we can spend months and months in there trying out the new stuff. It's just kind of, here you go, have fun. So I expected to see a new Nova. I expected to see a new Barak. I'd be very surprised to see an Asmodan. But a new Barak definitely felt like a good fit. Also a good fit here. Tychus here for the 2 arc. Uther for Blame Game. Some, again, very high priority picks in these games.
And then you see Tassadar pick up too. That's not typical at all, is it?
100% new territory. I'm glad you're at my side here, D-Day.
And that Oracle on this map too is really, really great, especially around tributes, making sure those bushes are clear, making sure you're not walking into a gank.
Yeah, the Oracle is definitely, and that's also another very powerful deterrent up against taking the new Nova as well. Just being able to keep track on, or keep your eye on that stealth.
Especially with the cooldown on the Oracle. I mean, it's just so strong. Can't really fight against it. And not to mention, you have the survivability of Tassadar with his phase shift. And you see a Chen pick up by 2 arc.
Not a surprise.
Nope. Nope.
Chan's going to be eating Quiznos all game on Quidzy.
Yup. Totally saw that coming.
But who else could they pair it up with here? I mean, we're still looking for support. We're still looking for another frontliner. Arthas is still on the table. Rhaegar is still on the table.
Anubarak is still on the table.
True enough. We were just talking about him.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, I'm a heathen, according to I'm actually terrible at forecourt. If it's not going to be another frontliner, yeah, would it actually be the support? And in terms of the support, with already Tassadar and Uther picked out, it kind of made sense it was going to be the Rhaegar.
Yeah, and the thing is that like if you look at the way the pick ban can go now, there are 6 key warriors in the meta right now. So even if there are 2 of them banned out, you still have 2 teams that can grab 2 really great warriors, and that's not even including Muradin.
Not even, yeah. God, I couldn't tell you the last time I saw Muradin kind of like in the higher level play here.
The team was just talking about it last night, and Muradin is one of those where there's just other heroes that do what he does better.
And that's kind of always like the tagline. It's like, well, we could run Raynor, or we could run Bella.
Pretty much exactly how it goes. And you see Rhaegar pick up for 2 arc up there, and then you see a Vala pick up by Blame Game.
Yeah, no, there's a reason I said Vala. It's just like you have a lot of AoE with her. You have a lot of single target. She can have superior positioning, especially when shielded and healed to death with her current teammates. And Arthas as a frontliner, not really a surprise either.
Yeah, and I'll give you a little insight. Like lately, the meta has been shifting from Strafe. Like you've been seeing more and more of her other ultimate. I can't remember what it's called.
Reign of Vengeance or Strafe.
Yeah, you've been seeing a lot more Reign of Vengeance because of the CC capabilities. Especially on like the narrow lanes of Cursed Hollow, there's not much you can do once you're stuck under Reign of Vengeance, and it does a lot of damage.
You do have like a split second to kind of get out of it if you do have a dodge or a teleport, but if you do actually combo, or I don't want to say wombo combo, but if you combo your stuns, I mean, it could definitely lock you down for a good few seconds.
Yep, and then we see the Anubarak pick up by 2 arc. Not a surprise.
Not like you called that or anything. If you get a Anubarak and Chen on this map, GG. I think it was almost clearly your word.
But, yep. So, and not to mention they have a Rhaegar too.
Oh yeah, and they got the Rhaegar. Oh my. Now, with this comp, you could see the Bloodlust for the Tychus. I'm really curious at what that last pickup is going to be. I'm kind of thinking maybe a Falstead for more damage, and then you get the Bloodlust. But if you don't, let's say you get another support or another frontliner, yeah, it's going to be Falstead. Then what you could do is actually Ancestral. Now you got an Uberak in the front with an Ancestral. You got the double life on Tychus, the double life on Chen. But of course, it's going to be the Falstead. Who wouldn't take the Falstead?
Well, here I can see a definite Bloodlust comp. With Chen and his split, Bloodlusting those guys, and on top of the Odin Bloodlust is just going to be ridiculous. So much damage coming out, especially in narrow corridors where body blocking is huge on this map.
The body blocking can be. We have a lot of tight areas. And we saw the body blocking come out really well last round from Quibzy, who's now advertising his Quiznos quiz every Saturday. You might want to talk to Quiznos before you do that, Quibzy. I mean, might sue you. But last pickup here from Team Blame Game. I'm thinking more along a bruiser type.
Definitely. They're going to need something else to soak up that damage, especially early on.
Like they got the Arthas, they got the Uther, but you don't really want Uther to take like killer amounts of damage. He has the Ghost form and all.
Maybe.
Sonya?
Oh,
Yes, Sonya.
good call, man.
I was just thinking like the leap. The leap could actually go really well here for the Archon, the Divine, and then the Strafe if you can get it.
I would have liked to see Diablo instead of a Sonya.
Yeah.
But their damage output right there is just too much for Sonya to be able to handle. She's a nice bruiser, but overall you can't really jump into a fight, especially with a Tychus. A Nubrak is just going to stun you in a Falstad.
Okay. I can definitely see that. I mean, yeah, Diablo does have much better scaling in terms of hit points and regen, especially stacking those souls, than Sonya. But at the same time, Sonya puts out, I would say, arguably more damage.
She does, but against this other comp, you're probably going to want a little more sustain. They have a lot of burst up front and not so much sustain damage.
Okay. Well, we'll have to see who actually wins out. Sustain versus Burst. It's going to be Team Blame Game taking on 2ARC here in Week 4, Day 1 NA, Game 2. Tongue twister, if I ever heard. We are going to load up into the game, and your last chance here, guys. This is going to be the last time I tell you about it. The Ultimate Dead Week giveaway. We are going to get 4 figurines ready to go. Somebody is taking home a little bit of a Blizzard capsule figure. If you hit the likes on the Twitter, the Facebook, the Twitch, the YouTube, every vote counts, and you could be awarded a winner right here, courtesy of HPL. Pretty generous, I thought. Pretty generous.
Indeed. And if you guys can, hit the subscribe button. Help support the Heroes community, help support the HPL, and help support just the growth of this game. It's going to be fantastic.
And speaking of fantastic, I say we jump right in. So, left-hand side 2ARC, right-hand side Team Blame Game. Are you ready to go, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll get rid of the draft music, and I will do the Heroes of the Storm. And in a 3, 2, 1, play. Cast is scripted conspiracy. Go away, Blade Mage. You are not somebody I like right now. All right, so 2ARC looks like it's going to be throwing a few perhaps into the bottom lane first.
You got that dance from a Nubrak there.
That actually is dance.
Yeah.
Oh damn! Is he doing that? Is he doing MC Hammer?
Oh,
Come on, that's totally. He's got one side. Oh, you're right. He's kind of like doing a do-si do.
4, 3, 2,
We have Chin up here on top and Rhaegar mid.
We saw very similar last game. We saw the Chen top and the Uther mid. But I mean, why would you not throw Quibzy top at this point?
Well, as we can see, we got the Uther heading top, so that might not be such a great idea, but stunning him out of that chug is going to be key at the beginning of this game.
And you got Roxy and Superber? Yeah, Superber. I'm going with that. So, I mean, they might actually have enough to kind of take down the Panda at this point, but he is big and beefy. In early game, Uther doesn't put out the biggest damage. Neither does the Sony. You kind of need to ramp up with that Fury.
Well, to be honest, either way, keeping him from chugging and gaining his brew is going to be really key to his damage output. But until he gets that the chug talent, it's not really going to be that sustainable for him to be able to be in the front line, just pushing them back. It's once he hits that talent to chug twice as fast that he'll be able to just chug no matter what. Even if he gets stunned, he's still going to get his brew. He's still going to get his shield.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. One thing I do notice here, though, from Blame Game, is they only have the only range they have is Vala. Well, I guess Tassadar, but I'm not really counting him because not much of an assassin. But like we have the Tychus and the Falstad, right? We only got Vala.
Yeah, and honestly, Falstad Tychus is going to do a little bit more damage than Vala.
just a bit. Just a bit. Is that going to negatively impact the early game here from Blame Game?
Yes, that first tribute is going to... I have a feeling that we'll see how this game will go once we see the first tribute, see how the team fight goes. I can't really see them doing much against 2ARC just because of the stuns and the interrupts that they have compared to Blame Game, who only really has maybe a stun from Uther and a stun from Barb.
All right, and Sonya is actually off on a little bit of a walkabout. They've decided that the 2v1 up against the Panda, it's totally not worth it, and it looks like, is she going to go for the Giants? It is 2 minutes in, yeah, so that would be about the right time. You can see Tychus doing the same thing.
Yeah, Tychus has backup with that Rhaegar, though, with the healing ward, which is just so good.
Healing ward and the lightning shield at level 4, or is that maybe that's level 7? Oh, level 4 is the wolf form regen, yeah. But you know, Rhaegar plus whoever can really just solo it all out. You see Tassadar helping out the Sonya here as well. Some very good choices to go grab their creeps because we should have that tribute spawning any moment now.
And I like what Echo did there. He went down and helped out with those giants, and then came right back to mid lane before the minions in the mid lane started dying to be able to soak up that XP.
Right. Yeah. And that's a really good move. In terms of the experience, it's a slight advantage, ever so slight going the way of 2-Arc. But, you know, I don't think we're going to hit 7 before this tribute actually spawns. So at this point, it's not that biggest of deals. If we have any kind of deaths going down here, though, that could catapult somebody into that next tier early.
Okay. So you actually see Anubrak down bottom. He was just sitting there dealing with those giants, but now he's heading up to the tribute. Might see him engage.
Well, they did leave those giants alive. That might actually come back to bite them. So they're going to have to try to make this quick and dirty 2-Arc going in with a good amount of force here on top of Fetus into 2, but he's been able to weather it fairly well. That's actually not good for the Rhaegar. He does get envenomed. The spear from Sonya, not able to hit. Here comes Mr. J Pickles into the back with things as well. Quizby trying to do his best. Oh, that is not good for Superber. He's actually body blocks. He's going to try to make the most of it there in the back line. Same with Quizby, though. He does get stunned out. It's not going to be enough to brew that one. The self-heal from Fetus is not going to be enough, and Mr. J Pickles right underneath goes for the kill on top of Sonya. Doesn't get it, but instead Tassadar is going to be the one to drop. And it does look like first tribute might be going the way of 2-Arc here.
For sure, and it looks like they're up 1 kill just from that engagement, and they got a tribute. So, I mean, you can see the team fight potential with their team already with the narrow lanes and Anubrak's stuns.
Yeah, the Anubrak stun and the body blocking from both him and Quibsy and Rhaegar. I mean, they're hefty fellas.
Oh, for sure. And that's just one thing you really got to watch out for, especially on this map. You can't let the other team body block you into like a death trap.
Not at all. So yeah, a 1 kill advantage going the way of 2-Arc, but they did get that. Very important first tribute. You can see them now going for the Knight. Same idea on the other side. Team Blame Game going to get theirs. And you know, again, in terms of general strategy, go for a tribute, get a Merc camp. Go for a tribute, get a Merc camp. Because if these fights prolong, your Merc camps are going to start looking better and better.
You know, I could see this going the same route that actually what happened with Symbiote. They got the first tribute, got the second tribute, and then they pushed immediately with that golem. So we could see them grab this tribute and head straight for the golem on their side.
Now, Furious D is not heading down to this tribute. He is actually going to be pushing mid with those knights. And, you know, they are 1 tribute up. This could literally just be a game of keep away.
They could be trying to hit 10 first. They could just battle back and forth, wait till they can hit 10, and then engage. Because you have Furious D up there just soaking experience, and now he's pushing down that 4.
Oh, that stun for Mr. J Pickles lined up so nicely on top of Blame Game. But you see Blame Game in the back. They're going to go for this tribute. I think they are going to grab this. Quizby by himself could not do it. The Tychus does come down to sides. Nope, that's not going to be good. We do lose out Arthas on top of that. Sonya, I don't think is going to survive that either, and she is going to drop. The body blocked in Israel. They did give up a tribute, but 2-Arc, as you said, pushing down this main fort. The wall is gone, and the fort will live, but the damage is there.
And then you see them actually going straight for that golem, like I said. It's a very, very good idea doing it at their second tribute. And now they're 10. So they can force and engage with that golem and just devastate that bottom lane.
Now, for sure. That's it. You know, get the tribute, do a creep camp. Get the tribute, do a merc camp. I say creep camps a lot because I used to play a lot of Warcraft 3. I see these things and I'm like, it's totally a creep camp. It's totally a merc camp. Knights, however, if you recall, the Knights didn't actually go off before that tribute. They abandoned it. Blame Game had to abandon it before that tribute actually came up, so they just got their Knights now at the same time that we got this Golem bottom.
For sure.
So if you were on Blame Game right now, would you give up this tribute? Because I don't see anyone going for it.
Yes. You got that golem pushing bottom. It's just going to do work if they try to go for that tribute. And you can actually see 2-Arc taking advantage of them being all bottom and going for their golem instead of going for the tribute.
They're leaving it there. Actually, I think Kiefer's is going to come grab it. But they cleaned up mid. The mid push here from 2-Arc was so much better than the one from Team Blame Game because of that Tychus. He stayed there. Sure, they lost out the tribute, but they had that pressure. Bottom lane gets cleaned up, and now Blame Game's about to lose their golem. And they lost the tribute. This is not a good position for them. The only silver lining here is that we have 10 now on Blame Game.
Definitely, and now they can actually do something against them. But with that golem and those two giants pushing top, there's not much they're going to be able to do against it.
I don't think so. I mean, we got the Giants and the Golem and the rest of the team here. They're up a level, and the positioning is basically perfect here from 2Arc. Like, how would you initiate on that?
There's not much they can do. They have the Golem, which the thing about Golem is that you have to watch out for that stun. That stun can turn around a fight in seconds. Like right there, Bar getting stunned and rooted. That was probably game ending right there.
Yeah, Superber is 100 to 0. Could not move. Stun into the shock and awe. The rest of the damage is now coming out here from the 2Arc. You can see Fetus and Tube already low. Quizby has already thrown down his pandas. It looks like they all got cleaned up. But that stun from Mr. J Pickles turns it around, grabs himself almost that triple. He should be able to pick up this task start, and he does. 4 kills, 4-0. 2Arc, 3-level advantage all of a sudden. Keep is going to put them to the 4 level. We're at level 14. We still got this Golem and the Ogres pushing in, and that's going to be a Bloodlust, and that's probably game right there.
It looks like they're going to end it. They had that Bloodlust. They don't even have to get a curse. They just straight up pushed with Mercs and won.
So I said, are we going to see another 8-minute game? But, this replay timer is sitting at 9:08. It is pretty damn close for this fastest curse games. And I had no idea that these curse games are going to be this snowbally. Like, usually I seem a bit more protracted, but that's 2 in a row today, D-Day.
You're seeing it more and more. Teams are just catching on quicker and quicker, taking those advantages, pushing down forts with Mercs. Mercs are super strong, and people don't put enough weight on them most of the time. You see with those 2 golems, they're already pushing top. They grabbed that golem while everyone was bottom. They couldn't defend against that golem. They grabbed the second tribute, and then that third tribute spawned, but they didn't even need it. They had the golem on their backs.
Pretty ridiculous stuff, my friend. Pretty ridiculous stuff. I'm putting up the talents there for everyone to see what the end game talents were. But 8-minute win for Symbiote on this map in game number 1 of our first series. 9-minute winning here in game number 2. This puts 2Arc now 2-0 in this series, and they get the points this week here in week 4, day 1 for NA. And unfortunately, Team Blame Game just can't put a point on the board, which is a shame. I mean, I love going to game 3s, the best of 3s, but 2-0 sweeps today, all across the board.
Well, I really like 2Arc's way of playing, especially with Anubarak and Chen. I think we're going to start seeing a lot more of that once people start to figure him out a little bit more.
Yeah. I mean, I think you basically called it right before. I mean, you said if you get Anubarak and Chen with all those narrow corridors, it's going to be a heck of a game to kind of get yourself out of that. And they took it, man. They took it in flying style.
Yep, and that's exactly how it's supposed to be played, especially with Anubarak. Those stuns and interrupts, just the other team, if they're in that line of fire, they can't do anything about it. And that, like I said, when that golem was pushing, you really have to worry about that root and that stun. Once you have 2 people in range of that golem, it's going to stun no matter what. So you need to just stay away from it as much as you can and fight around it.
Some really wise words there coming out from Mr. D-Day here, part of Team Nexus Champ. You guys are, of course, here on Nexus Champ because we're doing the Heroes Premier League. And I'm going to talk to our admins here as we do a quick commercial break. And we're going to find out what we're doing because, as I said, we're way ahead of schedule. We do have a live game scheduled tonight, but I don't know if they're ready. So I'm going to talk to the admins. We're going to do a quick break. I think we're also going to get the names of the people for the prizes, or we might actually delay that until after everything is all said and done. So when we return, I'll have more information for you here, Mr. D-Day. And you are watching, of course, here's Premier League. Don't go anywhere. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to Week 4 NA Day 1. No more games. The replays are out. We are now going to be setting up for Team Liquid versus Cloud9. Now, here's the situation. We're an hour ahead of schedule, and because of scheduling conflicts, we don't actually have the teams. So what we're going to do is, I believe, we're going to be setting up a game for you guys to get into, to which D-Day and I will talk about. That is the word. And while we also do that, we're also going to be deciding who's going to be winning the giveaway. So if you haven't already, you need to go over, hit all the social medias here for Heroes Premier League and Nexus Champ, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. You can get yourself a little Blizzard capsule figurine. They're cute little, I don't want to call them dolls, like little action figures kind of things that represent the Blizzard universe. They kind of have their own unique style. Have you ever seen Carbot, D-Day?
Yes, I love Carbot.
Yeah, the little Carbot animations, how they're kind of very stylized. The same thing here. The Blizzard capsule figurines, they're very stylized little Blizzard lore figures. We're giving away 4 of them today. And yeah, so it's basically we're going to take one guy from Twitter, one from Facebook, one from Twitch, one from YouTube, and eventually I'm going to get the names, and we're going to do that for you. Of course, I did also ask you guys for a little bit of feedback. And apparently we need to learn Danish and German. D-Day, are you up for that?
Sure. I'll get back to you.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen, Miss Mia Van Juna. Miss Van Juna. That's your manager, by the way, egging us on.
Yes. She told me she'd be doing this.
I do have a comparison though.
Comparison forward.
So a little bit of a visual thing. So this isn't a capsule figurine, but this is Mercablo. I got from China, actually, when I went to do League of Legends there for World Cyber Games. Rest in peace. This is a little Mercablo. So like you'd get something similar to this in terms of the capsule figurine. It's like this size. He's not going to be as cool as my Mercablo, I'm sorry. But yeah, that's what we're giving away to 4 different people. Something like that. Admins now tell me we have a surprise coming, so maybe we actually do have like a celebrity game or something in the works. But Mr. D-Day, this was your first day casting. How'd you like it, sir?
Yes, I liked it a lot, actually. I was a little bit nervous at the start, but I'm breaking into it. I think I'm going to do a little bit more of this, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, I mean, if there's anything... trying to get the right words here. People that know the pro scene, people that know like the picks and bans and what they're doing... I really can't think of the word for some stupid reason. The analysis part of the cast.
Mm-hmm.
We can never have enough people doing analysis. Never have enough people. In fact, you know, when we do eventually get all the tools sorted out and the game's out in public, I mean, you can probably see what StarCraft is doing, ESL. They're likely going to be doing something similar here. You got the few commentators, you got the replays afterwards. That could be you, man. That could be you.
I cannot wait. I like competing in it, and Nexus Champ is working on some things, so we're gonna come back in full swing on Sunday with our team, and we're just gonna show you some cool things. So hoping you guys will like it, but I'm really, really excited to see what happens in the next like 6 months with this game and this community. It's gonna be amazing.
And speaking of amazing, I mean, the teams that we got coming up are both teams in the BlizzCon exhibitions. You're gonna be at BlizzCon?
Yes, I am. Hence the hat.
Is going to be amazing. Yeah, well, you've clearly already been. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I had to go get like this $4 hat from I don't know, some Goodwill store because it's a terrible hat, but it's the only thing I have comparable to you. So you really did upstage me there. I've never been to a BlizzCon. I'm going this year. These 2 teams are going to be there. 2 more teams are going to be there. There's also apparently some kind of like big celebrity brawl something. I have no idea who's even going to be there for that.
I can see day 9. Like just
I really hope not.
day 9 Artosis. I don't want to see another pirate deck like they had in Hearthstone. I don't know. Like I love Artosis, but pirate decks are not.
Nobody can take away his first place from BlizzCon last year. Absolutely nobody. But I don't think he's ever going to get first place again in anything.
No. He's a fantastic caster, and he's a good guy. So.
A lot of my adolescent casting years, you know, was built upon the Tastosis, right? I mean, Tasteless Artosis out in Korea, that was the pinnacle, man. Like they've kind of fallen a little bit. Like they diverged into World of Tanks. Tasteless did a stint in League of Legends, if you knew about that.
I did not.
It was less than Tastosa's quality, let's put it that way. But Artosa is doing the Hearthstone stuff. Like this time last year, we had basically like Day 9 and Hafu and Husky all play Hearthstone. They weren't pros. It was all marketing. And look what it did for the game. Boom. Exploded. It's like the biggest game Blizzard has done since Brood War. Like I'd say it's far surpassed StarCraft at this point. Oh,
for sure. I think that Heroes is probably going to do the same thing. And like a lot of people are hating on Blizzard for doing what they're doing with the exhibition matches and the exhibition tournament, but I think it is a fantastic idea. It's gonna bring so many people that like Naniwa. People like Naniwa. They're gonna watch his game. They're gonna come into the Heroes area just because they're interested in what it's like and why he's suddenly playing it. I think it's gonna be really cool to see how many people actually show up to that exhibition match. And like you said, I'll be there. I'm going to walk around. I'll probably be hanging out with like you at some point and a bunch of other people. So really looking forward to it. Going to meet a lot of people and hopefully help the community grow quite a bit.
Now, I know that the card game, like especially for Hearthstone, because you can play it on basically anything these days, that's a big attribution as to why it's so big. I don't think Heroes is going to quite explode like that. Could it become a top 3 MOBA? I definitely think it could. But, I mean, you got stiff competition. You got League of Legends, you got Dota 2.